I feel bad for the most famous, amazing woman in the world who fucking gets booed at the Super Bowl. Get out of here. I mean,
she handles everything so well, and so does Travis.
Playing this game, it still means the world, and it always will, and this one's going to hurt just like Tampa did, and I think about that way too often. But this game is just, it's just our jobs.
Eagles fans get called out for booing Taylor at the Super Bowl, and Travis finally opens up about his Super Bowl loss. Check out this video.
For these athletes, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I feel bad for the most famous, amazing woman in the world who fucking gets booed at the Super Bowl. Get out of here. I mean,
get out of here.
Well, she's just like, I love her. I love her.
She holds these, probably she holds the record in every stadium, the attendance record in the Superdome. As an individual, as one individual standing up on that stage, rocking the world, and you're gonna boo her. Look, I get it. Look, and I say this, by the way, I love the fandom. Like the Eagles are proud fans, so it's like they are gonna hate her on that day, even because you're rooting for your team. I mean, I can't imagine. That's what I love so much about Kylie. Is like, she's like, look, it's my brother-in-law, but like, this is my team, and I'm gonna always root for his success, but not when they're playing the Eagles. And it's like, and Jason put it so eloquently. I mean, imagine that feeling. He then said, I now know how my parents feel, where it's like, you want this, but then you're also like, I want that too. And when it's your family, it's hard. But yeah, Taylor, obviously, we all know Erin and I's affinity for her, but she handles everything so well. And so does Travis. How many, to answer all, I even said this to Julian and to Gronk, actually, we were sitting there. Travis was doing some doing press early on in the week. Yeah. And I looked at those boys and I was like, damn, he handles this, still beating. He handles this so well. Like, that is not, I mean, imagine like you and I, like if people kept asking us over and over the same question, we'd be like, okay, we're good here. I guess just
leave her alone.
Right. So they both handle it with so much grace. And I just, I didn't want anyone to lose, but that's
I didn't either.
The game that we cover has a loser and a winner.
The shot that they have of him coming out of the locker room, and now he was going up to the suite. I didn't. I was actually coming off the field, and he was just walking out, and I was kind of like walking, and I was like, it. And I just turned around and I walked up to him because I was like, I don't want to bug him, but I was like, no, he's like, that's our friend. And this really sucks. And I just walked up to him and he stopped. I gave him a big hug and I was just like, I'm so sorry. I love you. I'm so sorry. And like, they're humans too. This just in, and oh man.
For the way.
And I wanted gone through adversity with, and it really makes you very, very close. And then on the other hand, you have your brother, and I've always supported you. I've always wanted you to win.
Every step of the way.
And I wanted you to win this game. I thought I made that clear.
You made it clear to me.
It was weird, man. It was hard to navigate because I'm trying to obviously I'm trying to say that I have people on the Eagles that I love, and I also have you. And I tried to make it known that I was rooting for you, and it felt like I couldn't be right. It felt like no matter what I said, some people were going to skew it and say that I'm rooting for the Eagles, and some people were going to skew it and say that I was rooting for the Chiefs or Travis. Yeah. And it sucked.
It's the world we live in, man. Everybody wants to just call people out. I know I always had your support, and I joked around saying with your cheering for the Eagles, listen, you and Kylie are there in Philly and have created one of the most beautiful situations that I've ever seen. You guys are loved by the community out there. You guys are very much a part of the community out there. Outside of that organization, everything from the foundation stuff that Kylie does, both of you guys do, to the countless amount of hours and years you spent in that organization, giving it everything that you have. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. As long as the people right here, I know who Jason Kelce is, and I know my brother and what his intentions are, and nobody can ever confuse that. And you can't let these jamokes online make you think that you're in the wrong for what you're saying. What you're saying is, I hear it. I hear it loud and clear, and I think the people in the Philadelphia organization understand exactly who you are and what you represent and how you were saying it as well.
Yeah, and all that is true. Like, we are still very much attached to this organization, which is why there's part of me that obviously is very happy and proud that they have won this game. But that doesn't take,
that doesn't make you less of a brother. That doesn't make you less of a brother. That doesn't make you.
That does not take precedence over rooting for you.
Yeah.
And that's why this game sucked. It was very, very hard to watch. As much as I love the Eagles, as much as I love the city of Philadelphia, there was not a ounce of me that And I know that, like, I don't know. I tried to correlate that I was rooting for both sides the whole time and that I was going to be happy and sad regardless.
That's what I
No
heard.
matter who won, it was going to be a happy and sad regardless. And trying to communicate why I might be rooting for the Eagles. I think some people, I don't even want to do this. I don't even know, like, because now we've already done it.
Fuck them. You don't owe any of these dickheads the acknowledgement. You really don't, Jason. Everyone that knows you knows your intentions. Anybody saying anything otherwise is, like you said, just trying to get a rise out of somebody else.
It was the weirdest game ever watching. Because the only other time you don't care about the outcome is when you're not really attached to either of the teams. And in that case, there's not a lot of emotion put into it.
Yeah.
Like, I still remember, like, the first play, the A.J. Brown penalty. I remember this, like, wealth of, like I jumped up out of my seat. That wasn't a penalty. Like, I jumped up out of my seat on that one. Then I jumped up out of my seat on the Nick Bolton hitting Dallas Goedert because I thought that was a horseshit call. And I'm going back and forth. It ended up just not being a fun game to be a part of or watch because at all times I'm just like, I don't know. I don't even know what I want to say, man. I really don't. Because no matter what, it's going to piss somebody off. And I probably shouldn't care if it pisses anybody off. That's probably the reality of it.
That's the Jason Kelce we all know right there. You're giving these people way too much of your effort, too much of your time, too much of your attention.
I didn't know what it was going to feel like going through the game. I thought I did. I thought I understood going into it that I would be happy in some way, sad in another way. But like the further the game went on, I just got more and more like down, upset. And like part of that is like, I'm in a box with all of our family and loved ones and friends. We're all just like, dude, this sucks for Trav. This sucks for his team. And I don't know. Like I didn't anticipate the amount of just like sheer discomfort and frustration that I would have watching the game. I thought I would kind of just be like, like I like both of these teams, whoever wins, may the best team win. And it just didn't turn into that. It didn't. Yeah. And I don't know if it would have been reversed, if it would have been the same way. I don't think it would have.
If it was an actual fucking game. That shit was just.
Well, that might have made it better.
Yeah.
I think the fact that it was that kind of like lopsided was like, man, this is fucking just like hard, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Listen, man, nobody's going to be able to relate to what you or me or, even Kylie. Nobody can relate to what it's like to have to pick between those two, like this type of situation. Nobody knows what it's like.
That's my whole thing. I wasn't trying to pick.
Exactly. So, but you can still be happy for somebody and you can still be sad for somebody. It is what it is, And at the end of the day, it's football, man. And I know I'm saying it like that because I just lost the game and I'm going to act like it didn't mean the entire world, but it's my third. It's my third in 3 years. I've had so much success playing this game. It still means the world and it always will. And this one's going to hurt just like Tampa did. And I think about that way too often, but this game is just, it's just our jobs. My life is still beautiful. I come home to an amazing household of family and friends that absolutely love me. And that's the beauty of, going through a hard time like this is that, I can still have happiness and still have an amazing time in life. Even when something like this happens, because I got the support that I do. And that's how I'm going to feel about it. I'm definitely compartmentalizing and putting this in the back corner, and I'll deal with this at another time. But I'm not going to sit here and act like the world's over because of this thing. And
yeah,
I
would not expect you to.
Yeah,
I just don't know how to articulate that.
Yeah, it's going to sting. I know everybody wants to know whether or not I'm playing next year, and right now I'm just kicking everything down the road. I'm kicking every can I can down the road, and I'm not making any crazy decisions. But right now the biggest thing is just being there for my teammates and being there for my coaches, understanding, that there's a lot that goes into this thing. I've been fortunate over the past 5-6 years. I've played more football than anybody.
Yeah.
And it's because the people that are in that building and the fact that we keep going to these AFC championships and these Super Bowls. And that means I'm playing an extra 3 games more than everybody else in the entire league. And that's a lot of wear and tear on your body. And it's a lot of time spent in the building, focusing on your craft, focusing on the task at hand, every challenge that you set up for yourself. And it's that process can be grueling. It can weigh on you. It can make you better, and it can drive you crazy at the same time. And right now, it's one of those things where it was kind of driving me crazy this year. And I think that it happens as you kind of tail off towards the back nine of your career, as VP would say. Is it's as you see yourself or not feel yourself have the success that you once used to have, man, it's a tough pill to swallow. And then on top of that, to not be there in the biggest moments, knowing your team's counting on you, man. Those are all extremely hard things to. It's just a tough reality, and I think I'm going to take some time to figure it out. And I think I owe it to my teammates that if I do come back, that it's going to be something that it's a wholehearted decision. I'm not half-assing it, and I'm fully here for them. And I think I could play. It's just whether or not I'm motivated or it's the best decision for me as a man, as a human, as a person to take on all that responsibility.
Preaching to the choir, brother. It sucks.
So Sunday's Super Bowl game still burns in my brain with how unbelievable it turned out. And I can only imagine how Trav has been dealing with everything from moment to moment, especially since he and the Chiefs went there to win. And so I'm glad he has Taylor and his family to confide in during these tough times. If you missed Taylor's reaction to the Chiefs losing the Super Bowl, watch this next video.